That's going into that Obamacare law. Okay, the was it the damn it, it's part of the bill. All right, and that's the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. It's a lesson on the page. It's countless lessons out there where the elders and other brothers done broke it down. So there's really no excuse for Israel. Okay. So they're going to get broken and snared. Isaiah 6 and 9. Go ye. Oh, and he said, go and tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Then said I, how long? Oh, then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, until the cities be wasted without inhabitants, and the houses without men, and the land be utterly desolate. Okay, what's that talking about? The destruction of America. So until America gets destroyed, 2/3 of them going to be totally blind and gone. Okay. It says, and the Lord have removed man far away, and there be a great forsaking in the midst of the land. Okay. So that's why the Lord spoke in parables. So back to Mark. And that's why another thing I notice about these other groups, rarely do they ever go into the parables. They never teach or break down any of the parables that the Lord gave, which is a major importance to understanding the gospel and breaking down the scriptures properly. Okay? That's just off of my observation. You know, I could be wrong, but that's what I noticed. Mark 4 and 5. Okay, it says, and some fell on stony ground, where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprung up, because it had no depth of earth. Alright? That's some talking about the word. The word was kicked, alright, to Israel, and it fell on them who represents the stony ground. Okay, talking about their heart. Alright. Where it had not much earth, and immediately it sprung up because it had no depth of earth. But when the sun was up and it was scorched, the sun represent what? The tribulation, persecution, and affliction that's going to come on Israel in these days to come. And you're going to see that many they going to wither away, man. They're going to fall off. Okay? It was scorched. And because it had no root, it was withered away. Okay? Luke 8 and 6. It says, and some fell upon a rock, and as soon as it was sprung up, it withered away, because it lacked moisture. Okay? And the moisture is talking about this truth. Alright, because the truth is compared to living waters. Alright, so they lack moisture. Okay. Mark 4 and 16. It says, and these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness. Okay, and you see that. Alright, we always say this, man. I always say this when someone roll up and, you know, they talking about they want to join the camp, they want to do this. I always tell them, man, you know, you got to know what you're getting into, man. You don't just, oh man, you know, because when you first hear this and you get into this, you know, learning and stuff, you real zealous, you want to tell everybody. But a lot of people, mainly with these other groups, they get into it. Okay, well, I'm an Israelite, I'm going to listen to everybody. Okay, if they Israel, I'm going to listen to them. And then a lot of them hook up with these false prophets. Okay, Zabak. And we got next group, Sataniel 11, and Israel United in the Antichrist. Who else? GOC, the Gathering of Christ Church. What's another group? Israel United in, I already said that. General Yohana and his flunkies. And damn, the Discomforter. What's another group? I'm trying to think. Oh, the 14th Street Israelites and any other group, okay, that's talking about their Israelites, okay. They're always talking about, they will preach the basics, so the word is getting kicked, and people will like, oh yeah, I'm glad I'm an Israelite, yeah. So they immediately hop into it without even sitting down counting the costs, okay. Alright, so they receive it with gladness and have no root in themselves, so endure but for a time. And that's what you see. You see them, alright? Hell, you even seen that amongst GMS. Because I mean, just because you're a part of Great Millstone or GMS doesn't mean you're the elect or you're chosen or you're going to endure to the end, okay? Alright? And that's evident because we done, the few years I've been in it, which I haven't been that long, I've seen a lot of people that look like they was, you know, they had it, they was really about it, and then they fell off, man. They fell off. And they really wasn't in this. They was just a bunch of parrots or mockingbirds or niggas. What else? Or they was just they was basically hypocrites, man. They wasn't really about it. Okay, they just hopped into it. Okay, and then whenever the words start getting more in depth, when we start getting these tests, when we had to learn and really see if we understood this, a lot of people buckled. Then you have people bugged out. Okay, because they wasn't rooted. It says, and have no root in themselves, so endure but for a time. Afterwards, when affliction or persecution arise for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So that's the first thing. You're gonna get people that immediately get offended. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like, for an example, we had a guy with me and the brother Gabar when we first started camping. It was a guy that who was part of our camp. He used to be the cameraman, and he only went out like 3 times. And then when we got the cops, they asked us to leave. We got a persecution or affliction for the word. He just immediately got offended. He didn't want to go out anymore. So we was like, well, to hell with him, you know. That's his lot. He gonna be destroyed. Because when he first heard it, he was down. Oh yeah, I'm an Israelite. Yeah, the white man's the devil. We're gonna have these women in the kingdom. Yada yada yada. But he didn't count the cost. So when he went out there, put his hand to the plow, he started recording whatever. The cops rolled up on us. He didn't want to go out no more. He immediately got offended. Okay. So part of that 2/3 number of those that receive this, that the Israelites, they gonna get offended. Some get immediately offended, like that guy that was part of our camp when we first started going out. All right, let's keep going. Matthew 13 and 20. It says, and he that receives seed into stony places, the same as he that hear the word and anon with joy receive it. Yet have he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. And when tribulation or persecution arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. Okay? Alright, so you got a few examples of that. You got, what was that? The old Miami camp, not the new Miami camp. Okay? I'm talking about what they call themselves, the Watchmen of Israel or Jerusalem. I don't think they go out anymore. but they had got offended about the teaching about sodomites getting put to death. Okay, and then they made up their own doctrine and went out there and started pushing that madness. So by and by they got offended. All right, because in that area of Miami, you have a whole bunch of jakes that's sodomites, man, or into sodomy. Hell, up there in Charlotte, we got a lot of jakes that's into that bullshit, being metrosexuals, sodomites, lesbians. Okay, a whole bunch of them. But them guys down there, you know, they got offended. So at first they was with it, and then by and by they got offended, and then eventually they fell off. They got cast out and they fell off. Okay, now they trying to come back, but it done came to naught. But the Lord, He want the teaching, He want the word getting preached out there in Miami, so He raised up another camp. Okay. Alright. Okay, so Matthews 13 and 20. 1. Yet have he not rooted himself, but dureth for a while. For when tribulation and persecution arise because of the word, by and by he is offended. Okay, so you're gonna have people like that group. Okay, that whole camp that got taken out. By and by they got offended. And then they bucked up against the elders, and they bucked up against the truth, basically the truth. Alright? And they got pushed out. Same with Batak. Okay, that clown up there in Chicago, that dude, he got pushed out because by and by he got offended. Okay? And he's part of that 2/3 number, man. You're going to be destroyed. Okay? Fucking weak ass nigga, man. Alright? Luke 8 and 13. It says, they on the rock are they which, when they hear, receive the word with joy. And these have no root, which for a while believe, and in the time of temptation fall away. Now what's the time of temptation? The time of temptation is the time when the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip, is heavily pushed and it's in your face. Okay, now in that Obamacare law, it's law now, it's not a bill, it's law. Alright, they had they gonna make it mandatory, okay, on March 23rd of 2013, which is this year, to start pushing that chip. They want to make it mandatory for people to have that chip. Now that's the hour of temptation because, alright, the economy is going to collapse, meaning they got to do away with the dollar so they can bring that chip in. Okay? And a lot of our people trust in that dollar, okay, if they don't have the proper understanding that the dollar ain't backed by anything and ain't real money. But to them that don't understand that, alright, they going to freak out and they going to take that chip. Then you're going to have people that know about the chip. They know the breakdown about the chip. Okay. Alright, like the elder said, it could be people at GMS. Alright, they taught about the chip. They know about the chip. But in the hour of temptation, when persecution and affliction and tribulation is all out here in these streets, alright, and you're going to be tested, okay, because the Lord trieth the righteous, man. He trieth the righteous, and He judgeth the righteous, okay. And you're going to be tried, man, okay, for your faith. They're going to fall away. We already know them other Israelite groups going to fall away. The majority of them, because they teach against the chip. They say it's a philosophy, it's a embargo, it's white women, all types of madness, man. It's a cell phone, all types of bullshit, alright? So that's the hour of temptation, man. It said, in the time of temptation, they're going to fall away. So part of that number of those that fell upon stony ground, those are people that know they're Israelites, that will profess that they're Israelite, okay? But they're not rooted and built up in this faith, man. They just in it because they